Let me take you back in time, just a few months ago. It's March 2020. It's 4:30 in the morning. I'm lying in bed. You know, that moment just in between sleeping and waking up. I often find those moments to give great clarity. These are uncertain times. No work, no new clients, projects that are being put on hold. Yet somehow, I feel happy and hopeful, feeling that this could just be a new beginning. I believe that things happen for a reason. We've been sleeping for so long, but now, finally, it seems like we're waking up. This is life as I know it. I'm only a few minutes old when I get my first A, 10 points for the UPGAR score, a perfect score for a newborn child. My daughter is studying business analytics, and in her first year, she decided that she would like to graduate with honors. Her conclusion is that high scores mean better chances, so she puts in the work. The strive for performance is on. Do any of you have young children? Then you know all about the CETO test, right? Nowadays, kids are tested at school from the age of 5, twice a year. But we don't care for their talents, like some of the other speakers here today suggest. All that counts is their ability for reading, writing, and mathematics. And as parents, you do all you can for your child to do well, right? At least I did. Here, too, the strive for performance is on. A while ago, I joined a sounding board of a large international company with employees from all around the world. At the end of this call, something happened that really hit me. It hurt me. It still does. The last question for the participants was to share how they felt about being an employee within this company. And then one of them said, "We sacrifice people for the sake of performance." Now, he wasn't the only one. Others joined in and shared examples. For instance, how standard processes were being implemented that were supposedly efficient, but caused so much hassle for the customers that they secretly took on extra tasks to fix things. Whereas they were supposed to put in less time, it cost them more. We sacrifice people for the sake of performance. And then the weekend started, as if Monday's just another working day and nothing had happened. I couldn't let it go. It had hit me and hurt me. But moreover, it fueled me. On Saturday night, in the middle of the night, I got up, sat behind my laptop, and wrote a blog. But it wasn't enough. Our strive for performance is just going too far. Kids, students, parents, employees, everywhere I see signs of how a focus on performance has a grip on us, we're stuck. Yet our whole system revolves around performance. And to be honest, I'd been playing this game too. At the age of 13, my eldest daughter got a depression. I took her to a doctor. I found her a therapist. And when that didn't work, I found her a new one. When my other daughter wasn't feeling well, I found her a therapist too. But all the therapists in the world would not be able to give them what they needed most. These times our focus is on doing, on performing, and yes, as a mum, I did everything so that my daughters too would be able to perform. I'd been doing everything I could, but I'd not been being everything I should, and giving my daughters the most important thing I could give them, an example. Psst, wake up. We're selling ourselves short, as individuals, as organizations, as society. We sacrifice people for the sake of performance. To be honest, it's even worse. We sacrifice our planet for the sake of performance. First, I'd realized I was on a wrong track as a mum. And now I saw it in my professional life too. There's a fault in our system, in our society, and it needs fixing. Now, how do we get here? And more importantly, how can we break this cycle? Those were questions that begged for an answer. And it was the beginning of a personal crusade. Will you join me? We're going back in time to understand what brought us here. We're going to the 17th century, 400 years ago. Now, this was a time when the church had all the power. Life was pretty simple. All you had to do was live according to the rules of the Bible. But there was one young man. He strongly believed that you shouldn't blindly follow the word of God, but that you should think for yourself. His name was René Descartes. Cogito ergo sum, he said. I think, therefore I am. And with that, power shifted from God to the mind, the start of the age of reason, or rather, the age of performance. Now, fast forward to our time. Isn't it amazing to see the huge impact of that insight? 400 years of innovation has changed our lives immensely, and there seems no end to what's possible. Now let's take a look into the future, where we see the fascinating possibilities of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence makes it possible for machines, for robots, to perform human-like tasks. And going forward, perform tasks that are even beyond our own ability. Now, this got me wondering, isn't it time that we rethink our own position? Isn't it clear that we, as humans, are reaching the limits of what our mind can do? Isn't it apparent that our strive for performance can come to an end? Psst, wake up. We're selling ourselves short, as individuals, as organizations, as society. Artificial intelligence at some point will exceed human intelligence. But here's the thing. Thanks to Descartes, for more than 4 centuries, our education, upbringing, and culture has focused on the rational side of life. Being smart gave us power. But now the snake is biting its tail. While investing in our rational abilities, we've neglected our emotional, imaginative, and connecting qualities as humans. Now let me tell you about Miriam. Just across the street from the office in Utrecht where I work, there's a coffee place. It's a social company. The people that work there have a brain injury, which makes working in a regular environment too demanding. I was there with a colleague, and we ordered 2 cappuccinos. And with a smile, we were asked to take a seat. The coffee would be brought to our table. A few minutes later, the waitress arrived. But when she'd put down my coffee, it spilt, leaving a wet saucer. I said, "No worries, it's fine, thank you." But she insisted. She wanted to give me a perfect coffee. So she took it back and returned with a perfect one. When I asked her how long she'd been working there, she sat down and shared her story. 12 years ago, she was run down by a car. She'd been in coma for weeks, and it had taken her all these years to get where she was today. this was the first job that suits her. And she really wants to make it work. But everything she does, she needs to do with intention. It was a very special moment for her to confide in us. She was authentic, made a connection. She showed what it is to truly be human. No robot can copy this. Embracing who you are, putting yourself out there and connecting with others. She, Miriam, is forever my favorite waitress. But looking at day-to-day reality, we are slowly losing our ability to connect. When I'm standing at the bus stop and look around me, everybody's staring at their phone. In a restaurant, we're not talking, but we're taking pictures of our food, sharing it on Instagram, waiting for the likes of our online friends. We are more connected than ever. But are we really? Loneliness, depression, burnout have never been as big an issue as now. We seem to want to diagnose everything and everyone. Our need for psychological and psychiatric help is sky high. We are more connected than ever. But somehow, we've lost connection with ourselves. Psst, wake up. What does it mean to be human? Human in this digital age. Now, don't get me wrong. Innovation and everything that it brings is good. Progress is progress. It can't, it shouldn't be stopped. But we are reaching some dead ends. Computers and artificial intelligence are exceeding our human abilities. Our digital connectedness and strive for performance is making us sick. Our context is changing so dramatically and in high speed that we are reaching a crucial point in time. We are Homo sapiens, literally wise man. In all our wisdom, we are making something that is smarter than us. Something that can perform better than us. Something that truly is a high-performing machine. So why should we put pressure on ourselves and continue this performance rat race? This is life as I know it. This is life as we made it. And then COVID-19 kicked in, and life will never be the same. It's time to wake up. Lying there in bed at 4:30 in the morning, I realize there are two things going on. First, somehow, when things are really at stake, performance becomes meaningless, even worthless. From being in the driver's seat, with one big swipe, it has taken a backseat. Seriously. Second, now that we are limited in being able to connect with the people that are most dear to us, we come to feel what's important. Our social spirit is fired up. A revival of family life, of small communities, taking care of our neighbors. We're stepping down from our dome, our strive for individual wealth and well-being, and we're taking responsibility of our role in our social setting. It's just happening. It's a natural course of things. We're waking up. Despite all its misery, this crisis is giving us a unique opportunity to take a left turn, to change our faulty system, and to fix what's broken, to revalue ourselves, our social setting, and our planet. Now, let's look at the one big question. What is the purpose of life? Well, life is slowly slipping away, even as I am standing here. I'm here for a reason, and so are you, and so are you. And being a robot, being a high-performing machine, that just doesn't fit the mark. We've been putting our head first in everything we do, being good at the head-to-head connection. But now it's time to do it the real way. And yes, that's hard, because we've pushed it away for so many years. But being persistent, I know we'll get there. We'll learn to see the difference from a connection head-to-head, the robot way, and a connection from heart to heart. And with an open heart, doors will be opening like never before. This is what it means to truly be human. This is what I need to show my daughters. Our ability, but also our need for being connected. We are humans. We are social creatures, able of making a connection with each other. Moreover, we are born to do so. Once we acknowledge the value of every individual, be inclusive, be connected, we can do amazing things. We can make magic happen. We can own our future. Now please, close your eyes. And for a moment, just be. Be who you are. You're okay, just as you are. Feel you. And feel the connection with all of us here. We are connected with ourselves, with the others, and with the whole. We are Homo, connexus. And yes, we are waking up.